In this video, I am going to discuss responsive web design. So, what is responsive web design? Actually, responsive web design makes web pages render well on a variety of devices and window or screen sizes. All right. So now we know nowadays we have a number of devices to access internet. All right. So this is personal computer and then laptop and then we can use tab or smartphone. So when we design the web pages, so we have to get concerned how those web pages are rendered on these devices. All right. So responsive web design uses only HTML and CSS. All right. So that is responsive web design is not a program or JavaScript. Right. So then there is a concept called viewport. The viewport, right? Actually, the viewport is the user visible area of a web page, right? So the viewport vary with the devices, right? So that is viewport is smaller on a smartphone or mobile phone than a computer screen, right? So, before using tablets and mobile phones for internet access, those web pages were designed only for the computer screens, right? So, earlier web pages were designed only for the computer screens. That is before using tablets and the mobile phones, all right? So, in that case, web pages to have a static design and fixed size. Surfing the internet using tablets and mobile phones, what was happened? The fixed size web pages were too large to fit uh, to the viewport. All right, so that is when we access the internet using the tablet or a smartphones, that fixed size web pages were too large to fit the viewport. So that is problem. So to overcome this problem, right? So that is main problem in when you access the internet using tablets and mobile phone. And then to solve this problem, what we can do, browsers on these devices scale down the entire web page to fit the screen. Right. So what we have to do, we have to scale down the browsers on those devices so that web page fit to the screen. All right. So we can set the viewport on these devices. All right. So viewport can be set through the meta tag. All right. So include the following meta tag viewport element in all web pages. All right. So this is how we set the viewport in web design. All right. So we can use the meta tag. Then the name is viewport. Now we are going to set the viewport, and then we can set the content. All right. So this gives the browser instruction on how to control web pages, dimension, and scaling in various devices. Right. So with this device width, that is the width should be fit to the device width, and then this set the width of the web page to follow the screen width of the device, right? And then the initial scale set as 1, that is the set the initial zoom level when web page is first loaded by the browser. All right. Okay. Then set in the viewport. uh, Actually, once if you set the viewport, we can access the web page using the computer screen or just the computer or smartphone without worrying about the what you call that screen size. All right. So this is a IT center website. Actually, this is the home page of our IT center website. So you know you can see. So actually, this menu is designed for the smartphone or the tablets like this. All right, so when you access the home page or website, so without worrying about the screen size, we can access the entire web page like this. Right, so this is personal computer or this is a computer screen. So this is a smartphone view. All right, so let's see how can we do these things in web design. Okay, so for the size content to the viewport. Actually, users are used to scroll websites vertically on both desktop and mobile phones, but not horizontally. Right, so you can scroll the website in vertically, right, like this vertical direction, not for the horizontal direction. So web page scroll horizontally or zoom out to see the whole web page. That is poor user experience. All right, so in addition to these things, some additional rules has to follow in web design. The first one is do not use large fixed width element. All right, so we can't use the large fixed width element. That is, image is displayed at the width wider than the viewport. Then what we have to do, we have to scroll horizontally, right? So assume this is the width of the screen. So once if you set our image wider than this viewport, then what we have to do, we have to scroll horizontally. So that is poor user experience. And then do not let content rely on the particular viewport with to render well. All right, so that means that we have to think about this viewport, right? So that's depend on the that we call that device type, right? So you see CSS media query to apply different styling for small and large screen. So that is very important. So let's see how can we use these CSS media queries. All right. Okay, then let's see what is media query. Right, actually, media query is a CSS technique introduced in CSS 3. All right, so it used at media role. So this is the role at media role, right, to include a block of CSS properties only if a certain conditions is true. Right, so let's see the example, right? So if the browser window is uh, smaller than 600 pixel, then we can change the background color, all right? So in this example, we change the background color to the light blue because depending on the device type, that window size is different, right? So by using this media rule, so we can change the uh, different properties by depending on the window size. Right. So in this example, I am going to set the background color depending on the window size. Right. So this is how we use this at media. So this is the rule. So then I say only the screen, and then here I set the maximum width for the screen. So here max width is 600 pixel. So this is CSS property max dash width. All right. So I explain this. If there are two words in a particular property, we have to uh, separate those two words by dash, and then we can set value by using this colon then 600 pixel. So that is the maximum width. All right. So if it is less than this maximum width, what we can see, what we can set background color is light blue. All right, so let's see how can we do this in web page. All right, okay, I escape from here. Okay, so that is already create in a web page. So I open that web page. All right, so this is my web page. Okay, then I'll keep this in a website, and then I open the source code of this web page with and then source code. So this is the source code, right? So in here, right? So for a second, I remove this media query. So this is my web page, right? So in here, I include the I set the uh, viewport by including the meta tag. All right. So here. this meta tag. Right, so name is viewport, and then content, so I set the device width as a width, and then I set initial scale of zooming is 1, and then I set background color for the body tag as yellow. So now you can see this is yellow in background color. So then I write the media query like this. All right, so here query is, so if it is a maximum width is 600 pixels. All right, so that is, if this maximum width is less than 600, right, that is screen width is less than 600, then I'll say background color change to the light blue. All right, so I said for the body tag. All right, so let's see. So then I resize this. All right, so now you can see, so here I resize. So actually I have to save this, right? I save this, then I replace this, and then I resize, right? Like this I can resize. So when it is, so if width is less than 600 pixel, now you can see this, what you call that, background color is changed to light blue. All right. So actually in here, we can see how it is rendered in mobile phones, right? So how can we do that? So you can right click on this web browser. All right, so then in here there is an option called inspect. So you can use that option to find how it is rendered in mobile phone. All right, so now you can see here, you can change the, you can set the type of the phone. So here I set the Galaxy S5, right? So here, so this is how render in mobile phone, right? So that is, if mobile phone is that is the screen size is less than 600, so then it is changed to a light blue background color. All right, so here I can close this. Now this is in computer screen, right? Okay, if you want to change to the, if you want to switch to the mobile screen, so you can right click on here, inspect. All right, so likewise you can check this. Okay, so that's about the media query, right? And then next one is CSS box sizing. Box sizing, right? So by default, the width and height of an any HTML element calculate like this, right? So I'll give example. So in here I define two divisions, right? In first division, I set width and height as 300 and 100 in respectively. So board is 1 pixel width, and then the style is solid and the color is blue. And then for the second division, I set width and height same as in division 1. And then here, in addition to division 1, I set padding. Padding is 50 pixel. All right, and then border is 1 pixel, and then solid style and color in red. So this is something like this, right? So this is division 1, right? So you can see here width is 300, and then height is 100, and then here are the border is 1 pixel width, and then solid blue in color. So in here, in addition to division 1, I put padding. All right, padding. Then padding also included in actual uh, height and width. All right, so that is here with respect to division 1, this height and width is increasing by say 100 pixel. All right, so because we have 50 means the padding and left, and then again right, we take another 50, then 100, right? So 100 for the width and 100 for the height, right? So here the two element among end up with different sizes, right? So let's see, I have include this one in this web page, right? So this is the web page. All right, so here I have two divisions. Okay, I'll open the source code here. So this is division 1 and then division 2, and then I include those two classes in these two divisions. So here we can see, all right, so this is the smaller box, all right, so which contain the, which contain the what do you call that, which can consist of this width is 300 and height is 100, and then here width is also 300, height is 100, but in addition to that we set padding. All right, padding pixel is 50, right? So 50 pixel for padding. So by finally this is increased by 100 pixel in width and height. All right, so this is a problem. All right, so but in CSS we have a property called CSS box sizing, right? Box sizing. All right, so this will allow to include padding and border in the total width and height of the element. All right, so we can set box sizing is border box. We can set as box sizing is border box, right? So actually box sizing is a CSS property. We can set this is as border box. All right, so this will allow padding and border are included in a total width and height. All right, so what you can do, we can set box sizing is border box. All right, so let's see that now example. Right, so I have add that in a source code. All right, so in here in 3.html web page, I set box sizing as a border box, right, for the division 1 as well as for the division 2, right? So then I'll open the web page. So this is the web page, right? So in this web page you can see both are in same in size, right? So in division 1 we don't have padding, right? So in division 2 I have insert this padding, so 50 pixel. Then I set box sizing as border box. So once if you say box sizing is border box, right, this will allow to border and padding also including in a total width and height. All right, so then this will allow us to uh, include this padding and border in a total width and height. All right, so that's it. Okay, then next move on to the actual responsive web page designing. All right, so the following example shows the simple responsive web page with two columns. All right, so what we can do, we can define so this column as menu, this column as content. All right, so in the menu, so I set width is 25 from the entire width. All right, and then float it to the left side. So this content also I set float into the left and width is 75 in total width. Right, so let's see that one in a example. All right, okay, then I have create a web page. So this 4.html, but now you can see, right? So here I open the source code, right? So this is my source code, right? So now I include this box sizing as border box for all the elements, right? So which will denote by this asterisk symbol. Asterisk means this is uh, applicable for all the HTML elements, right? Then and in addition to that, I set the viewport, right? So here I set one column as menu, all right? So in here I set width is 25 from entire web page and then float to the left side, and then I put padding and the border, all right? And then this second column, so width is 75 percentage. All right, so here 75% from the entire web page width and then float to the left, padding and then border same. Then I import this menu class for the division 1, and then I set this, I include some unordered list, and then here I set another division, and then I import this second class as content, and then here I have level 1 heading and the paragraph. So this will responsive web design, because when we once if you what you call that resized web browser, these two columns are resized according to the web page with width of the web page. All right, so that's it. Right, so that's it. And then and usually if you want you can add the header position as well. So you know in web pages we have a header section, right? So here in next example I add a header in addition to menu and content. So header is some kind of another box. All right. So here I said the border and the padding. All right. Then if you want, you can include the content as well. Right. So let's see. I have a design web page for that. All right. So this one file.html. Right. This one. Right. So here I include the header part as well. Right. So I'll open the source code of that web page. Okay, now you can see the source code, right? So in addition to the menu and content, I include the header position, header part, right? So header is here. We don't have that percentage because header is common to the entire web page. So here I said the border and the padding. So if you want, you can change the color. Right? So I'll change this one as blue. Then initially first position I have a header division, right? So this in this division I import this header class, and then this is the menu section, this is the content, right? So in body section we have a header part, right, like this, and then we have a menu, right, like this, and then we have a content, right, like this, content, menu, and the header. All right, then I refresh this because I changed the color of the header section, right? So that's it. All right. Okay, then next we go to the next part. So that is a grid view. Grid view, right? So in many web pages are based on this grid view, right? So a web page is divided into columns, all right? So like this. So usually the using the grid view is very helpful when designing web pages, all right? So this will make it easy to place elements on the web page. All right, so actually we can place our HTML elements easily by using this grid view. All right, so actually in a responsive grid view usually contain has 12 columns. All right, so total it is 100%, and then this will shrink and expand as resize the browser window. All right, so like this. All right, so we can take say 12 columns, and then for particular element we can set three columns as a one column. That means we can combine. All right, so like in tables. All right, so it's easy to use this grid view for web page designing, right? So let's see how can we do this, right? So actually I here percentage for one column is a 100% divided by 2l, that is 8% 33. All right, so make one class for each of 12 columns. All right, so we can define class as a column and then dash say 1 2 specifically specify by the column label, column num as a label, right? So first class is column dash 1, so with is 8% 33, and then the next column end up is 16.66 because 8 plus 33 actually multiple by 2, and then we can add this 16 plus 66 to 8 plus 33, that is approximately 25%, or we can actually multiple by 3 8.33, and then if you want you can multiple 8.33 by 4, that is column 4, right? So then we can multiple this percentage, that is 8.33 by 5, that is column number 5. So on we can define 12 classes easily. All right, okay, then all these columns should be floating to left, right? So and they have a padding for say in our example I'll take 15 pixels. So if you want to include particular set of properties for all the classes, we can include something like this. So we can set class asterisk means all the classes which is starting from this particular prefix call dash, right? Because all the classes are started from call dash, right? So we can say all the classes by using the asterisk symbol, class asterisk, that is call dash. So this is the prefix. So these properties are applicable to all the classes. That means all the 12 classes that we have defined. So here but I want to say float into left, and then padding is 15, and then we can set a border. All right. So in classes we set the width, only width, right? So because width is different, sorry, different from one to another, but this floating left is same for all the classes, and then padding is also same, border is also same style, color, and border width. All right. So each row should be wrapped in div tag, right? And the number of columns inside the row should always add up to 12, right? So we can say a particular division is, say, class is row. So row has to define in a class, and then we can say division class is called 3, and then next one is called class is called 9. So if we say 3 plus 9 is 12, right? So if you say call 2, then next one should be called 10. So that's what we say, that always add up to 12 in a one particular row. All right. So the number of columns inside the row should always add up 12. All right. So here, column number 3, the width of the column 3 is 25. Width of the column number 9 is 75. Right, that is 100%. Right, so that's what taken from this always add up to 12. Right, okay. And then in grid view, the columns inside the row, all columns should be flowed into left. All right, and then taken out of the flow of the web page. All right, so and the other element will be placed as if the columns do not exist. All right, so to prevent this, all right, so add a style that clear the flow. All right, so how can we clear it? So we can define a class called row, right? Row, that is after by one particular row we can say content is empty, and then we can clear, say, both, and then we can display a table. All right, so this will prevent these things. All right, so let's see. Actually, uh, say if you want to say input, say, 3 columns. All right, so I have already designed web page for that, say like this. All right, so we've designed, and then here I have 3 columns. All right, so let's see how can we do that. I'll open the source code. So this is the source code, right? So okay, I explain one by one, right? So this is doc type tag, and then root element. In header section, I set the viewport by using the meta tag. So name is viewport, and then content is, say, width is device width, and then initial scale is 1. And then in styling, so I'll set the box sizing as border box for all the HTML elements, and then I set header class, say background color is this, and then color, the what you call that, the font color is this one, and then padding is 15 pixel, and then I set those columns. All right, so column 1 is 8% 33. Likewise, I set 12 columns, and then here I add this floating left padding and the border for all the columns. Right, so all the columns. Right, so that's why I mentioned in here. Class asterisk means all the classes, which is starting from call dash. So this is these are the classes starting from call dash, right? So these properties are applicable for all the columns, right? So then here, so after particular row, right? After the particular row, I clear the content, right? So by using this particular class, right? So dot row, that is after this class, I clear the content, right? And then display the table, right? So actually, say, if I want to set a web page something like this, so in here what I have done, right? So in here, say, uh, so this is table, right? So here I have a header, right? So I merge this is header, and then here in here I insert particular columns, right? So say first one is column number 2, then say next one is column number 3, then 2 3 means 5, then here we have to include 7, 2 and then 3, then 2 plus 3 means 5. Then here we have to add column number 7. So all together they should be 12, right? So this is how we take column classes, right? So here, so let's see the web page. So let's see the web page. So this is my web page, all right? So here, so sorry, so I'll open the source code of this web page here. Now you can see, all right? So initially we had the header division, header, then I had a level 1 heading. This is header, all right? So in header class, background color is this, and then color is the of the font is white. So for font color is white, and then padding is 15 pixel. So if you want, we can align text align, say text align into center, something like this, all right? So in here, I add this class for the first division as a header class, and then second, in here I take this row class, row, right? And after this row, content will be cleared by using this one, all right? So anyway, so in this row, first of all, I add column number 2, right? Column number 2 means the width of the column number 2 is 8% multiplied by 2, right? So this here I add column number 4, right? That is 8.33 multiplied by 4, all right? So this is the sixth one. Then 2 plus 4 means 6. Then here the total of this number should be 12. Then we have got column number 6. So if it is 5, so if it is 5, right, that is 7. Then here we have got another 5. So that's how add up to 12, right? So if it is 3, if it is 3, 2 plus 3 means 5. All the columns numbers should be added up 12, and here it should be 7, and 7 plus 3 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, like this, all right? So like this we can add these columns, and then we have to cross the row division. So here this is one particular row. If you want, you can add another row like this, right? So division, then class should be row, that is row. So here we can add row, and then at the same time I put the closing tag, and then here I can add another column. So division, and then class is say column. Say I for convenience I say column number say 1. Then I have to close the division div. Then I can add another division div class say equal col 11, right? And then I can close the division. So this is next row, all right, like this. So in here column 1 and 11. So if you want, you can put say column number 2 and say column number 10. That is altogether 12. So if you want to insert say one column, I can say column number 12. Likewise, we can. So in here we can add some copyrights, something like that. So save this like this. All right. So this is responsive. That is when we resize the browser, right? So these column percentages are changing according to the width of the web browser, like this. All right. So this is responsive web design. Right. Okay. You can do this, right? Okay. So that's about the grid view, right? And then for the time being I skip this one. I'll come to this one later. And then for the website layout, for the website layout, so usually in web layout we have these components. So we have a header, and then we have a navigation bar, and then here we can put menu or a content, right? And then here we can have a content. Here also we can have content. Actually here this is the main content, and then finally we can have a footer section. So we can design our web page as we want, right? So this is the basic structure. We can, if you want, you can say header and then navigation bar, and then all these three columns are combined into one, and then content. Then finally, you can add footer, right? Okay. Actually, a header, we have already discussed this header. Header is usually located at the top of the web page or website, and then usually contain the logo or the website name, right? So for example, we can define header something like this, right? So we have had this header in a previous web page, all right? And then navigation bar, actually the navigation bar contains the list of link to help visitors navigating through your website, right? So we can, for example, we can add navigation like this, right? So overflow we can set hidden, right? Then background color we can set any background color, and then if you want to, so you can add some more navigation properties, right? For example, in navigation bar we can set anchor tag, right? So in anchor tag in navigation, right, so we can set float into left and then display as a block, and then we can set color for the anchor tag, and then we can text align inside the anchor tag, and then if you want you can add padding as well, and then you can add text decoration, all those properties, right? And then so we can uh, set change color on over properties. So when you move your mouse pointer over the link, right, so we can say a colon over. So we did this in anchor tag, right? And actually this anchor tag which is in navigation bar, so that's why we mentioned this top navigation. So this is the class name, right? And then we can set those properties, the background color red, um, this one, and then color is black, that is text color. And then in active property in anchor tag, right, so we can set background color and the color, and then we can say if you want you can add icons, right? So let's see, right? So we can add this properties, and then we can add media query, right? So here the media query is, so if it is less than 600 pixel, right, so you can float all the navigations to right and display as a block. All right, so let's see that on uh, an example. So the layout in this section, right? So content, I mean content section. So we, because this is usually depend on the target users, and the most common layout is say like this, right? So if you want for the mobile users, we can say one column. So for the tablets and laptop, we can have two columns, right? For the desktop, we can have three columns, right? So this is depending on the user variations, right? So you can use either one column or two column or three columns depending on the users requirements, all right? Okay, and then we can define the content. So here we can define the column, say with this say 33.33, and then clear float the column. That is the in previous example we did this, right? So after the column or after particular row, actually we can we can clear the floating all the columns, right, like this. And then so if it is less than 600 pixel, right, so we can say columns width is 100%. All right, so here I said columns is 33.33 for usual situation, but if it is so if the screen size is less than 600 pixel, we can set column width is 100%, right? So that is for mobile version, so a screen or what you call smartphones or even tab, right? Something like that, right? So then finally we can define the footer section, right? So actually in footer section we can set background color and the padding and all those things. So let's see this on all those things in a one particular web page, right? So here I have design web page say layout, all right? So in here, all right, so this is the web page that I have designing by using all those properties, right? So in here I have two columns for the content, and then this is my header section. In header section, I have inside this image and then two headings, and then here I have links or navigation menu, and then here I have content. This is the content, right? So for the content, I have two columns. I have two columns. So if you move this one, so if you resize this, right? So if you resize this, something like this, right? So now you can see. So here actually, when you resize, so this navigation bar moving something like this, right? So here, right? So now you can see the how this is rendered in mobile versions. How this is rendered in mobile versions. Right? Click on here and inspect. Now you can see in mobile versions, navigations bar uh, something like this, and then this is the first column, and this the second column. So all these are goes to one particular column. Right. So let's see how can you do this. Right. So I open the source code, and then I'll describe one by one. Right. So in here, this is the doc type. Right. Okay, then I open the source code, right click, not bad. Okay, so this is the source code, right? So this doc type tab, right? And then here I put another tag, say another property called language is English, right? And then in header section, so this is the title, and then so this is the meta tag. Inside the meta tag, I have set this viewport, right? Viewport. So by using this meta tag, and then here I set box sizing as border box for all the HTML elements, and then here I use this image tag. I'll explain this one in later, right? So here I don't have image. If you want you can remove this, right? So in body, right, so I set a border for the body, right? So for the border tag, for the body tag I set border, right? So 1 pixel and solid style and black in color. So this is a style for header. All right. So for the header section, I use the background color, this one maroon color, and then the color of the font color is as like a yellow, and then the padding is 20 pixel and text align center. So this is header section. All right. So this is about the header section. So, so this is header section. So, this is header section, right? So maroon color, and then font color is something like this, right? Okay, then for the navigations, for this is for navigation, right? Top navigation, so navigation class, so overflow is hidden and background color is say around say something like this. So if you want, you can change this color, right? So here if you want, you can say black or green or whatever color. So if it is hexadecimal, we have to put this say RGB, say R is 00, so G is 00, right? And then blue, something like that, right? So RGB, right? Like this, you can change the background color of the navigations, right? Like this, right? So for the time being, I can set say if this FF, this is change like this, right? So the time being, I set say blue, right? So you can change this, right? Okay, then here the that's about the navigation, and then for the link, for these are anchor tags, right? So these are float left, right? And then display as a block, and then the color of the font color, so this is around to say this is say usually white color, and text align center, so you can see this line into center, and then padding for 14 from left, 16 from right. So if you want say 14 or 24 or like something like that, here we don't have any text decoration for the anchor tag, which is in top navigation, right? So this is for over. So when you move your mouse pointer here, right? So here background color change to this one. So if you want, you can change this, right? So if you want, you can say a yellow or red or whatever. So if you want, you can say maroon like this. Okay, refresh like this. All right. So if you want, you can change this, right? Okay, and then font color is black, Right, so when you move your mouse pointer, this font color more change as black. So now font color is black. So if you want, you can change this one into red. Right, say RGB. R is say fifth. So all the other are zero. So when you a anchor tag over a colon over means the effect of the anchor tag. So when you move your mouse pointer, you can see change to the font color as red. So if you want, you can say font style for the font, uh, let's say family, change to Paramount or something like that, right? Okay, then I define columns, right? So here I define a class a column left, right? So that is this one, the content column. All right, so actually here I create it's a three, not a three. Actually, I create two in this example. I have two columns, unequal columns. So those are float to left with width is say 85% and height is say 16 pixels, or padding is say if you want you can, we don't need actually height, so we can say width as a percentage. All right, so percentage width is 85 and then padding is say 10, and then column which is right. So I have two classes, column dot left, column dot right. So here floating left width is 50%, 15%, and padding is 10 pixel. So here I clear float after the columns, right? So row, and then after the row, so I clear the, so here row colon, right? So double colon, content clear, and display the table, right? So I put this media query. So if this is, so if the screen size is less than 600 pixel, I use these two columns, column left and then column right. Set the width of those columns 100%. That is one after another. All right. That is the first one is this one. That is first this one, next this one as a one column. That is here. If it is greater than 600 pixels, so screen width is greater than 600 pixel, then width is 85% for left column, 15% for right. But if it is less than 600, then column width should be 600. So that's it. Then actually here I don't have iframe, then I remove this. Here I don't have iframe, and then for the photo section I set background color, padding, text decoration, and color. So that is photo section. All right, so background color is maroon and padding is 10 pixel, text align to center, and the color. All right, color is yellow color. And that's about the footer section. Then I insert those classes in my web page, right? First one is the header section. Here I have division for header, and then here I have image tag. I insert image, right? And then I have two headings, right? You know these things, right? So how to insert image, and then these two headings, and then for next division I import this top navigation, right? So that's about the top navigation. So here I have four links for anchor text. So here I insert this navigation, this one navigation. Then here two extend classes, that is anchor tag which is in navigation section, and then over the anchor tag which is in navigation class, navigation division, right? So anchor tag which is in top navigation division, right? So it should be like this, and so these properties are applied for the anchor tag which is in top navigation division. So that's why I insert these properties as top navigation class and then space a, that is anchor tag which is in top navigation division. So once if you use anchor tag anywhere else, these are not applicable. All right, so that's it. All right, so if you use this anchor tag inside here in this column, so these properties are not applicable. So let's see, right? Let's see. We will test, right? Okay. So next one is navigation, and then next one I add a row, all right, row class, and then here division is column left. Column left means actually this is combination of two classes, column dot left column. So this is class column dot left. Here we have two classes, column and left. So that is, if you want, you can define another one class called column, but in here I have two classes called column dot left and column dot right. All right, so I insert those two classes, column left, column right. So column left is empty, and then column right contain say two headings and then two paragraphs. All right, so actually yeah, it's two headings, three headings and two paragraph, and then I close the division for this right column, and then close the division for the row, and then here I add another division for footer. All right, so that's it, and then I save this and then refresh. Right, okay, so this is my web page. So here I add this media query. So let's see the effect of the media query. So this is media query. I say column left and column left right. So width of these two columns is 100% when screen size is less than 100 pixel, that is in mobile version. So let's see, right click, inspect. So in mobile version, so you can see, so these links are vertical, and then these columns. So actually the first column is empty. So if you want, you can insert content and see it. And then these two columns are say attached one column. All right. Okay, so that's it. Right. So if you want, you can add a particular content. So let's see. I close this, and then I quickly add some content for the column left, right? Okay, I quickly add this content into the layout.html. Here I add say paragraph, say location, and then here I add another link. All right, so like this, right? I add this content for the column left. All right, so level 2 heading and paragraph, and then here I add another link, anchor tag, right? Anchor tag. So let's see, right? So now if you go to the mobile version, right click, inspect. Now you can see, right? So this is one paragraph. So this is left column, this is right column, news and event, right? So both are set into 100% in width, because in here I add this media query. Say here 100% in width, right? So if you say if it is 50%, so here now this is 50-50, both are 50-50, but we have to set 100 in so here, sorry, so this is 50, now this is 50. So if it is less than 600, now this is 50, right? So if you say 100%, and then save this and then refresh, sorry, so actually this is and then you have to refresh this, refresh, and then mobile version. Now this is, you have to save this and then mobile version. Now this is 100 in width, right? And then one more thing, right? So in here I add the link anchor tag. So this anchor tag, so this one, right? So actually that anchor tag inside this column left, or the row, in the row division or column left division. So the properties which are defined in this class, that is this one. Right, so here the padding and then over, shower, right? So here these are the anchor tag which are in top navigation division, right? So these properties are applicable for these anchor tags which are in navigation bar, but in those properties are not applicable for this particular anchor tag, because this is out from top navigation division. All right, so these properties are applicable for top navigation division. This one. These properties are applicable for top navigation division, right? That is, for this division, right? So these four anchor tags. But in this anchor tag. So this one is not in top navigation division. This is in column left division or a row division as a parent, right? So those properties are not applicable for this, right? Okay. Then in earlier I skipped one particular thing, that is a responsive image, right? Responsive image. So let's see. Yeah, actually this one, responsive web design in images, right? So if you want, you can add this width property, right? Width property for the image, right? So you can say width is 100, right? So and then height will be auto, all right? So if you want, you can set maximum width for the image tag. So for example, maximum width is 100 and then height is auto. So let's see this one in example, right? Okay, I skip this. Okay, so in here I add the image. So here, so here. So when you resize your browser, right? So this will the image size. So this is the maximum width of the image, right? So this will be resized as 100% from the web browser. All right. So here image also resize respect to the browser width, right? So when you go to the mobile version, right? So here 100% with width, right? So how can we do that, right? So we can set maximum width in CSS, right? So like this, right? So this is my image for the img tag. So we can set this property for all img tag. So we can say maximum width is 100%, the height is respect to the width, right? So then when you go to the mobile version, so width is keep as 100%, right? Okay. So that's about the responsive images, right? So you can design your web pages as a responsive web design, so which will increase the what you call uh, rendering well on all the devices. All right. Okay. Okay. Then if you have any problem regarding these things, you can send me a message. Okay. Thank you very much.